Um, Hi, I'm Katrina. We're going to be talking about theme parks today. And today we're going to be talking specifically about Epic Universe on the East Coast for Universal and the Universal Studios Hollywood Fan Fest nights, all of which are coming in spring and potentially a little after spring of next year. So they're right on the horizon. Construction is getting in deep at Universal Epic Universe in Orlando, and I'm really, really excited about it. And there have been some updates over the past like 24 hours that I really want to dive into. So, quick overview of what Epic Universe is. It is an all new theme park down in Orlando, Florida, as part of the Universal Studios theme park resort. There are two parks there already. That's, of course, the classic Universal Studios as well as Islands of Adventure. So, this is a kind of a big deal for this company. You know, for the longest time, Disney sort of had the dominance over like having quite a few parks and water parks and other offerings, especially in that area. And Universal has always been there for their competition. But what I'm really excited about when it comes to Epic Universe and when it comes to some of the other things that Universal is offering is that for a long time there hasn't really been that much of a I don't know. I would say like not much of a challenge in comparison to what Disney has to offer. But now Universal is really stepping up and it looks like this is going to be really exciting and it's yeah, I just want to jump right into it and talk about it with you all. So, there are going to be 5 lands in Epic Universe. That starts with Celestial Park, which is the first thing you will encounter when you come in, and it's really cool because it's supposed to be. Thank you, Candace. I appreciate it. Um, it's supposed to be dedicated to like the Celestials. There's this whole like plot line that is dedicated to this part of the park. So this part of the park is all new and original, but it has its own lore and it's loosely based on like Greek mythology. So there are a lot of things like you obviously the Helios Grand Hotel, and a lot of other um, neat little mythology and even astrology based things and offerings in this part of the park. And it's pretty exciting because, you know, usually when you walk into like the center of a park, that's of course the central hub, but you're looking to go somewhere else immediately. You know, like you go to Disney, you're going up to the castle, you get your photos. If you're like me, you wander around Main Street and try to find like cheap souvenirs and stuff, but like that's your central point, and then from there you go to other parts of Disney because there are no like rides or really outside of Mr. Lincoln, not a whole lot of shows and things to do there. This looks like it's just beyond like it is its own land, and so it's completely original and an all new offering that I'm really really excited about. So there's a full video from the Universal Studios podcast about the lore behind the celestial world, but if you go on their website, it's pretty exciting because they have this like nice sort of 3D like fly through of it. So we'll take a little look at it. There are a lot of really cool offerings that this area has. Like I said, those fountains that line the middle have a show every night, and they light up and you know dance and all of that. But there's also what is going to be known as Stardust Racers, which is a dueling roller coaster based on the lore of the area, and it looks like a lot of fun. And Candace will tell you, I am not someone who does really, really over the top roller coasters. I'm more of a moderate coaster girly, but this looks really, really neat. And one of my favorite rides in the Universal of the past was Dueling Dragons, and this looks like Dueling Dragons, but with like way less of a of whisk or risk. So real excited to see this sort of like racing component that they're reintroducing. It's a nice callback to that ride, which no longer stands and is part of. It is in the area that is now like the Harry Potter land over at uh, the islands, I think. So yeah, Stardust Racers, right out of the gate, you get to see that if you look to the side a little bit. Something else that's kind of cool about this middle area is it reminds me a lot of the entrance to Epcot, where, back in the day when we had connections and interventions and stuff, those two um, buildings sort of lined the middle. But there's just a lot more to do. So of course we've got the carousel, and now the carousel is based off of the constellation, so it's called the Constellation Carousel. Each constellation is brought to life as one of the rideable figurines in the carousel, and they also have three different spinning platforms in I think two carousel hubs. So there's a lot of space to put people, which is great for crowd control, and it's just pretty to look at, really. I bet this would be a lot of fun to do at night. Look at that. This is such a cool little walkthrough, too. How neat. And you head over, you've got all of these beautiful dancing fountains, and we go to the Atlantic. And this spot looks really neat. It's very like Art Deco in a way. So it's the primary like dining area of this spot. Oh my God, look, there are ducks. So that's really cool. I'm really excited about this. I have no idea what the menu is going to look like, but the seating looks coordinated beautifully. You get a direct view, no matter where you are in the restaurant, of the fountains. Of course, you could also just be that person that has to sit on like the chairs facing away, but you still get a pretty good view. It looks like from all angles. So super pretty. This particular restaurant is supposed to, I guess, give off um, the illusion of being immersed in the water, and it like the description says like go underwater with the Atlantic, and I'm like, okay, cool. So we'll see how that is in real life, but I'm really excited about it. I'm probably just going to show you Celestial Park, and then we'll hop into like the big updates that I really want to talk about. Of course, capping the back of the park there is the Helios Grand Hotel, which is just so cool. They just released a video a few weeks ago that's like a little walkthrough of the area, and oh man, what a gorgeous hotel. I'm really curious about prices for it because right now, Cabana Bay really does like offer competition to like all of the Disney resort hotels in that area. And when Stella Luna and Terra Nova open, which are the other two hotels that are kind of opening with Epic Universe to accompany like the parks and stuff, when those open, most of their prices right now are under $200 a night, which is just mind blowing in comparison to a Disney hotel of like a similar quality. I just want to show you. So these are like the middle grade hotels. Can I pull that up? Yeah, there's the Stella Nova and the Terra Luna. They're not identical, but they're similar in vibe. And they're sort of futuristic, like space hotel, resort land areas. So, as I was saying, most of the rooms here are going to be under $200 a night. They're spacious, they're beautiful, they look nice. You get early admission into the parks if you stay at any of the hotels. And it just looks neat. Like it looks like it's straight out of like a little Star Wars set. So who says you can't have a successful space hotel? Hopefully. Obviously there aren't the LARPing and immersion like offerings in these hotels, but they do look beautiful. The rooms look really nice. Let's see if we can get a good, yeah. So there's the standard. Goes for $134 a night. Starts there at least. Whoops, I don't want that to go on Pinterest. So here's the standard room. It's your basic dual bed. That's fine. But it's cool. Like it looks nice. It looks presentable. I like the theming a whole lot. Terra Nova is a little bit different. It's more about like futuristic earth science and like what would things look like if we actually took care of our environment in like 400 years. So, really nice, spacious bedroom. You can see like the full layout of the room here. And 134 bucks a night for a resort hotel is nothing to wag your nose at. I don't believe Helios prices are out yet, so let me go check that real quick. Let's see who's in here. Hey, what's up? TTRPG gifts is in here. Oh, that's a good question, Candace, about the Stardust Racers. We'll see if it stays dueling, because yeah, again, I grew up with dueling dragons, and I know how that went very often, where it was just like actually only one side is running now. So yeah, welcome to the stream, man. Thank you so much for coming by and dropping in. We're looking at the Helios Grand Hotel right now. I am so excited for this thing. Like, I want to stay in like all three of these resorts. I don't. Let's see if they have. No, they don't have the rooms up yet, and this probably won't be like opening or pricing out until we have a like confirmed 100% opening date for the park itself. But honestly, looks great. I like it. Standard two queen. It's a very pretty suite. You also the perk of staying at this hotel, more than anything else, is that you get a direct view of the park from every single room. So, like, say you want to go back to, like, your room around, like, 6 or 7 p.m., you've had dinner and you know that the night show is about to start, because when the sun goes down, that's when the night show is starting at the fountains. So you sit there, you, like, sip your drink, non-alcoholic or otherwise, and you just like watch the show from your hotel room and then run back down to the parks. Like that is ooh amazing. So again, good shot of the floor layout here. Nice spacious bathroom. It's a hotel room. It's pretty, whatever. But the amenities that you get, oh, I like the suite actually, the deluxe two queen. That's not bad. The experience you get really does change things. So they have the standard rooms there, club level rooms and suites, couple yeah, four restaurants and lounges, a bunch of pools and activities. There's like a cool little arcade. If you feel like working out at a theme park, you can do that. And yeah, it just look at that thing. Oh, amazing. And then there's this beautiful balcony up here, and I think there's like a bar located right up here that you can, come get a drink, sit on the balcony, watch fireworks. Like what? Oh, man. I can't wait. I'm so excited. And you get like extra perks staying at the Helios too. So pretty awesome. Hey, what's up, Darren? Nice to see you. Yeah, honestly, like these are really great rooms. Transportation around the whole resort, so you can go to Epic Universe, but you can also easily access the other parks. You get early park admission with this hotel and all the other hotels, and just really it looks super cool. So I have gabbed a whole lot about stuff we already know, but over like the past, like I said, 24 hours, a whole bunch of news just dropped, and well, this big thing just dropped, really. So this photographer, this aerial photographer, bioreconstruct, regularly takes pictures of park development. Like I think he has like a drone or something. So he came out of nowhere. This week and dropped like some really huge photos of Epic Universe. So I went ahead and brought that up in this window over here, and construction is like under freaking way, dude. Like we're seeing, I'd say like this park, you can really start seeing it shape up. Like there's your carousel platform A, carousel B will be over here. This is where we'll have I think the restaurant is going here, right? So that pool is starting to fill up. It's just really impressive to see it really coming together, right? So yeah, so in the middle you've got your Celestial Park. There's going to be a couple restaurants there. There's also like a Nintendo store there, which doesn't, I don't know, it kind of throws off the theming for me. I would prefer if it had stayed in Mario Land, but like I get that. I know the type of store they're trying to build, basically, which is just a little bit out of character for the land, but I don't know how I feel about it. If not there, then City Walk. But that's really my only gripe. So, yeah. So outside of Celestial Park, you've got right over here in the top left area, there's Dark Universe, which is going to be like the classic Universal Monsters Land. This part is really exciting because like you've got rides and stuff that are based off of super classic Universal properties, but there's also potential for, other IPs from Universal to show up here, this because it's just like, oh, this is the scary land. So at any time during the year, we could probably, especially if they want to do like shows and stuff, because there's a stage over there, I believe, they could, bring back Beetlejuice and the Ghostbusters, or do like walk around characters, especially from any new horror movies and stuff, because they're always partnering with like Blumhouse and stuff. So I think this also opens up like another area for horror nights if they choose to do that. So that's really neat. I really like that. I am a big scaredy cat, so I don't know how much time I will spend in Dark Universe. But what I will say is that both restaurants are very interesting to me. One of them is staffed by vampires, apparently. Like that's the whole theme is like you're in a vampire restaurant and vampires are serving you. And so that's cool. And then the other one is this like tavern like place that has this constantly like 24-hour burning windmill on the top of it, which just like I love over the top stuff like that. So those are, I am excited for the restaurants in Dark Universe, which that's just me as a scaredy cat. I'm sure everything else that Dark Universe has to offer is going to be super fun, but and it looks gorgeous. Like the walkthrough for Dark Universe is so cool. It's just very, it makes my goth heart very happy. Like I feel brave enough to do these rides, even though I know they're going to be super scary. So, yeah, so great place to be, especially around, I think sunset would look really great, especially because, Florida gets so cloudy, and even though it would be super humid, it's like perfect for spookies. So yeah, and then right near it is the Mario Super Nintendo Land. I'm sorry. So this is going to be a little bigger, as you can see, than most of the other Nintendo parks. Over here in California, we really only have so much room. So even our Super Mario Land is a little bit smaller than the offering that you're going to see here. It is laid out very similarly, from what I can see, but there's just like I think a couple more things on offer here. The Yoshi ride, for example. And I think there's like another riot or cafe or something in here. But what really makes it expansive is the fact that there's going to be a Kong Land, which you can kind of see over here on the far, far left. That's coming in, and that's really exciting. Oops, hold on, I lost my spot. So you can really see that start coming in. So before we go any further, the folks over at WDWNT, they did a really good roundup of what you can kind of see close here. And one of the things from this photo, outside of the overall like ooh ah of it, is the fact that there is a toothless statue. Gosh, you can see what my ads look like now. So there's a toothless right here, an animatronic, the first really that we've been able to see come out from the parks. So this looks like it's going to be part of the coaster from Isle of Berk, and it looks like Toothless is like pushing a button or like has his paw on top of something. So like the speculation right now is that he is going to be the one who launches the coaster by like pressing a button or something. So we'll see how that looks. There's also somewhere in the ride shot for that. I don't know if I can see it. I don't have the extra magnitude of it all, but Yeah, somewhere in one of the coaster ride shots is one of the smaller dragons just kind of waiting for you. So, yeah, so there's Isle of Berk there on the right side. You can see this is going to be the fountain near the entrance to the Isle of Berk, which is, right here. You can kind of see that portal that they're building. So this is going to be filled up with water. All the boats are now fully built. There are plenty of like this. There's this boat ride here that looks very interesting. It's interactive. Like you shoot water at different enemies and targets, kind of a la the Buzz Lightyear ride, but it's like real and with water. So that's really cool. There's also the the theater far over this way. I think that's as far as the image goes. But back here is where the live show is going to be. And then over here is the large restaurant in that area. So really, really cool stuff. I'm so excited for like all of this. The Harry Potter park is in there somewhere, but I am not super inclined to talk about it, if you'll forgive me for that. So, I'm just, man, I'm so freaking excited for this park to land. I think it's going to be really great. And honestly, it does sound like toothless. Um, I've been wanting there to be some serious competition for Disney parks here in America for a very long time. Candace and I were talking about this around D23, but a lot of those reveals that they gave us at that show, I feel like they were propelled by the fact that Epic Universe is on the horizon. And so Disney knows that now, after what I will admit, it has been a considerable amount of time, Universal is stepping back up and showing off like what they can really, really offer at these parks, especially down in Orlando. There's more land there. There's more that they can develop. I'm sure that eventually, especially given the length of the park and the extra like land we're seeing here on the outskirts, that there'll still be room for a few more portals to add and expand this park. So I'm hoping that, Disney sees this and they're like, oh man, we better serious up and like really think about what we have on offer over the next few years because, I mean, you COVID really impacted these theme parks just overall. Really put a lot of projects on hold. It kind of destroyed the idea of new buildings going in. I know there was that really nice building that was supposed to go in at Epcot with like future innovations and stuff highlighted in it, and that got fully scrapped because there was just no budget for it. So, the hope is that this new offering from Universal is really going to make Disney think about, what they have on offer at their parks, especially in Florida, where, having just grown up there as a kid in the 90s, and maybe this is a little bit, nostalgia goggly, but I feel like what they have on offer right now isn't meeting the standard, of what you expect from a Disney park, especially given how much people are paying for these theme parks these days. It's a lot. Like I really I everybody wants their money's worth, right? So I hope that this kind of like lights that little fire that Disney needs to really snap back to the quality of offering that we've come to expect from them. So yeah, so there is still some cool stuff to talk about. I want to go to you want to go west, and talk about Universal Studios here in Hollywood, or down south in Hollywood, as it were. There is a new offering that we know virtually nothing about, and it's called Fan Fest Nights, and it's coming spring 2025. This was announced, I think, like 3 weeks ago now, but I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. And it's because I again have been waiting for Universal to show off something that really competes with like Disney's themed nights, because Halloween Horror Nights is incredible and great and super innovative, but the fact of the matter is that I don't think Universal is capturing the wider audience that it could capture by sticking specifically to horror as a genre for a night. So, having these fan fest nights, which right now are going to be themed to Back to the Future, Star Trek, and Dungeons and Dragons, really kind of opens up that gate to like talk about what these offerings are and show and just kind of welcome a wider audience in. I think these selections are great. I am a big fan of all three of these things. So let's break down what we know right now. So, Universal Fan Fest nights, and the way it's described reminds me a lot of like Star Wars nights at Disney or Pride nights or couples nights. Again, it's just a themed offering. It's going to have special shows. Cosplay is encouraged. You're going to get immersive experiences are being promised, themed food, exclusive merchandise. So, and I'm sure like photo ops and things like that, if they're really being serious about these being competitive to what Disney has on offer. So, get ready to celebrate the best of sci-fi, fantasy, gaming, and anime with your fellow fans like never before. From the creators of Halloween Horror Nights, this all-new after-hours event brings you into the worlds of Star Trek, Back to the Future, Dungeons and Dragons, and more with immersive experiences, celebratory moments, themed food, and exclusive merchandise that takes fandom to a whole new level. Our lineup is expanding with more to be revealed. Sign up now to be among the first to learn more. So right now, that's all we know. And I don't expect us to learn anything else until at least November. I don't think they're going to announce anything during Horror Nights. And if they do, it'll be near the end of Horror Nights to really prep people and get those ticket sales in before the end of the year. Because I have a feeling this isn't coming until like February or March. And yeah. I kind of hope it's April though, because that's when my anniversary with my partner is, and it'd be cool to go to Star Trek night for our anniversary, I think. So yeah, other than that, I have no idea what's on offer. What I do know is what has come before, right? Like I said, I was a Ride the Movies generation kid attendee at Universal Studios. So I was there for Back to the Future. I wouldn't be surprised if there was maybe a live show for Back to the Future. I over here we have the Hill Valley set. So that's kind of really cool. They can automatically like use that and send people there and have a good time there. So that's an option, I guess, like the Hill Valley immersive experience or something like that. I think with Star Trek, something I would really love to see. Oh man, OG Kong. Gosh. You remember when in rides you'd actually like move around in a cart and not be in a little buggy with like a screen in front of you? Oh man. I miss those. Those were nice. Yeah, so yeah, getting back to it. The offerings that have been at the park before for Star Trek have been pretty minimal. There hasn't really been like a big collaboration between Universal and Star Trek or Paramount before, except for the what is it? The Universal like experience, which is if you've seen my YouTube channel, you know what I'm talking about. It was basically a green screen experience where you would get green screened into, I think, Star Trek or Jurassic Park or something like that, or Back to the Future, and you would interact with characters who had been like pre-recorded. So for this particular offering, like, my parents went back in 91 and did like a 10-minute video where they were in an episode of Star Trek. And I would like to see that come back. I would very much love to see like the whole green screen yourself into a Star Trek episode happen again. Absolutely, pretty please. But there are some other really cool things that could happen there. I think there's a lot of room to like build experiences and walkthroughs, museums, etc., character interactions, which would be so exciting. Like, can you imagine? So I have no idea what to expect from this particularly. Hey, what's up, the Wretch Lyrics? Nice to see you here. Thanks for tuning in. But man, I don't know. And then Dungeons and Dragons, of course. I think that, I think what would be super cool is over here we have a stunt show called Waterworld, and if you have not seen it, I recommend it so much. I know that, the movie wasn't that great, but this stunt show is amazing. It is better. I would venture far enough to say that it is better than the Indiana Jones stunt show. It is really that good. Like, it's an incredible experience. And so I could see the Dungeons and Dragons, area or whatever. If and this is if all of these things happen on one night. This is just like that idea. I could see Dungeons and Dragons taking over that arena and doing some kind of like stunt show or adventure show or something like that. There are also just a bunch of stages. So if I were the person planning Universal Fan Fest nights, I would also probably plan like a live AP experience where like you can watch people play Dungeons and Dragons. There's, not certainly not a lack of tabletop actual play performers in Los Angeles. So there's a bunch of people you could probably call on, the Critical Role people, obviously, but like there are folks affiliated with Wizards of the Coast that could probably be called in for that. So, and that's just like the bare minimum of things that I can think of off of the top of my head when it comes to FanFest nights. What it looks like is that if these nights go super well, we're going to see a lot more. There's also already a promise of like gaming being offered, and anime being offered, and so I think we're gonna see this expand a lot more. I could definitely see Pokemon being added to this reel, because Universal already works with a Pokemon company over in Japan for their theme parks. So I think that there's a ton of room for this to grow, and there are a ton of possibilities for what we could see at these particular FanFest nights. But I'm very, very much going to be like keeping my eye out on my email to make sure that I can just get the tickets immediately without thinking as soon as they come out, because I really want to see what's on offer here. So if you're looking at this, just head to the Universal theme park page and look for Universal Fan Fest nights, and then you can sign up right at the bottom for like their little newsletter and get a you know email when news drops. So, um, yeah, I think outside of that, I do want to highlight. Oh wait, I still have it open. Here we go. The Helios Grand Hotel. So like this thing looks really really cool, and I'm just gonna like harp on it a little bit more, because I am so impressed by like the design of it. Like this is a place where like you could take a relaxation day like outside of the parks. Just say like you do one additional day at the parks because you just want to chill out, and this is definitely a resort style stay, so you could spend your whole day at this resort and not have to worry about like being bored or whatever. So let's take a little. There's a little walk through or fly through, I guess. Heads up if you're motion sick or whatever. I just want to warn you there. We'll just turn off this sound because that's a lot. Um, One of the things I love to do when I watch these fly-throughs is see how many times they reuse like the same little 3D person model. I think I can. There's like a couple that is around the pool, like in three spots, and I'm just like, I see it. So yeah, here's a great aerial view of the outside of the hotel, and then this is the entrance where you drive up. Looks like obviously there's going to be valet for the hotel, but you can drive in, check in, and then go park in that parking structure that was off to the left. But this gives you a clear view as soon as you come in of the park, and I think that that's so freaking cool and impressive. This is a huge lobby, and there's obviously like snacks and stuff, but there are also a few different restaurants. Yeah, as you can see, great timing, Katrina, that you can have on offer that would still, as you're eating there, give you that view of the park, which just like, mm, amazing. Like it's just, you don't often get something like this. I think the thing that can compare to it most is the, what is it, like that hotel? at what is it, Tokyo Disney or is it Paris, where like the hotel is like right there and looks straight out to the parks. Like look at how massive this pool area is. That's wild, dude. Oh, hey, Klingon Pop Warrior. What's up, everybody? Thanks for rating. Thanks for joining. We actually just finished talking about Star Trek nights at the Universal Fan Fest thing that's coming up here on the West Coast, but now we're just checking out the hotel. Oh yeah, the Disneyland Paris hotel. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Candace. So we're checking out the Universal Grand Helios Hotel, which is going to be opening with Epic Universe over in Orlando. Look at that freaking sky bar. Oh, I'm gonna spend a whole day here. Just not even going to the parks. Just look at that. Wow. So yeah, just super impressed. And maybe like I am easily impressed or whatever, but like I just love the thought that's been put into every detail of how this is being laid out. Because and I'll be frank with y'all, I don't expect the highest quality from Universal, and I haven't for like a decade and a half, you know? And again, this is me having grown up as a Ride the Movies era kid. I had the freaking Honey I Shrunk the Kids playland. I had Back to the Future. I had E.T., the original King Kong. Just everything was super high quality and immersive back then. And I think that we've finally gotten back to really achieving that with Epic Universe. And I'm just so excited. Like, it just looks so freaking cool. I hope that we get some news on it soon. But like I said, I don't expect news until like November. Hi Thomas. Um, so I'm hoping that once Halloween Horror Nights wraps up, we'll get some new news about the Grand Hotel, especially given like how much construction is already like underway. This is so impressive. So hopefully, the projection for Stella Luna and Terra Nova is like spring 2025, so they'll probably open before this particular park does. They're a little bit farther off than like, the Helios, which is right here at the end of the parks, but um they still give you early admission to all of the parks and stuff like that. But I'm really eager to hear more about this particular park and really hear more about some of the things we're going to be getting here over on the West Coast. Like FanFest Night's very exciting, but we're also getting, I think, a new roller coaster for Fast and the Furious. We've been getting a lot of really interesting updates to like the studio tour. Like apparently Doc and Marty are like running around the set of Back to the Future and they like come up to the tram and like interact with people and stuff. So, yeah, lots of new changes and stuff to these parks, and like I said, my hope is that what we see in spring of 2025 will serve as very scary competition to the Disney parks, both East and West, because I just think that when they compete, we win. When the competition demands quality, we as park guests, we're the ones who really reap those benefits. So yeah, hopefully that happens. But yeah, I'm excited about Dark Universe as well. I'm like I was saying earlier, I'm like a huge scaredy cat, so I know that I will have to overcome a fear or two to get on the two rides. One of them is a coaster, which you can kind of see a little bit of like right here. So we've got like a little coaster, and it doesn't look like it goes upside downies, which is really good for me because I don't like going upside down. In comparison to the dueling coasters that we have on the other side of the map here, the Stardust Racers. So yeah, so we're gonna have a coaster here, and then there's also what I assume is gonna be like a buggy ride or whatever through the Frankenstein mansion. And the plot of this, get this is great. It's like the Avengers of Dark Universe. The plot is that Victoria Frankenstein, who I guess is like Victor Frankenstein's daughter, or maybe just Victor Frankenstein gender swapped. I'm not complaining. She has a new monster, but things go out of control because Dracula like shows up with a gang of vampires, and he's like, "I'm gonna mess stuff up for you." And then like that's the plot of the ride, is you are caught up in the madness of what's going on. So yeah, so I'm really excited. Like I think Dark Universe is gonna be a little scary, but like I'll be brave so that I can go. I'm very excited for it. I'll pull that up. Let's look at that. So I've been really impressed, and I don't know if you all have seen. We looked at one of them earlier. They have these like walkthroughs now of the parks. So here we have Dark Universe. Like look at that. So each of these areas obviously is going to have its own little portal to bring you into that particular area. And this place looks so freaking cool. Like I said, my inner goth is very very happy about the way that this area looks, and I'm very excited to see how it's going to look in real life. But my I guess I am sort of praying that there are like no jump scare interactions here like there are at Horror Nights. I just want to walk. I want to saunter. I don't want to worry. So, so we head this way. I think that was a gift shop. But here's that Frankenstein ride I was telling you about. Like, here's like the foyer area where you'll come in, and that's where the queue is. But yeah, here, Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment. It is a ride through, and yeah, Dr. Victoria Frankenstein's latest experiment goes awry when Dracula leads an angry monster's revolt to escape her catacombs. So, very cool, very exciting. Oops. Hold on, I want to get back to where we were. Okay. This looks it's really cool. I'm really excited for it. No cursing with kids on the ride. Look, at my big age, and Candace knowing what it is, Candace was like, "Let's go ride the Matterhorn," and I was like, "You're funny. I won't do it." And then I did it, and I think I traumatized a child while I was on the coaster, 'cause I cursed real bad, and it hurt real bad too. You know, the coaster itself would probably not be nearly as terrible as it is if it didn't feel like you were like riding on rocks, you know? That's what it feels like. It's not like the direction of the track, it's the track itself. And that is why I will never go on the Matterhorn again. So here's the coaster. Very cool. The cars kind of like whirl around. Um, like I said, no upside downies, which is great. And then you've got your little Curse of the Werewolf entrance right here. Love the theming, by the way. This is so cool. Like this weird carny theming. We've got a little gift shop here. And then I think we've got two restaurants that we're going to look at. Um, so, where is it? So, this is one of them. And this is what I said when I was like, this thing is so raw. Like, it's a giant windmill that is on fire all day long. At least that's the pitch, right? That's the promise, is that it's going to be on fire all day long. And then you go in and it's like a tavern style dining affair, which is really, really cool. And then the other restaurant, I don't know if it'll take us there. But the other restaurant is like, you're in a vampire club and vampires are your waiters. And um, yeah. So okay, yeah, so there we are. Funky Little Vampire Club. Das Steakhouse. Love it. So, yeah, it's a really cool area and I'm really, really excited for it. I want to also show you the, yeah, Super Nintendo World. Here we go. This is like the last thing I really want to look at with y'all because it's so neat. So much bigger than what we've got over here on the West Coast. This thing is massive, even by itself. You know, you've got the Yoshi's Adventure ride through. I love all of the added animatronics. I don't think we have it in the parks right now here in Hollywood. Just this feature of of the land. I don't know how to really explain it. It's just so much bigger than what we have on offer over here. Two castles in one land. I mean, how can I complain about that? Um, So we've got, of course, Bowser's Castle. This is the Mario Kart ride that we've come to expect from these particular lands, and then you've got the Mario Motors exit through the gift shop. I'm really like excited to come here with my dad. He's like a really, really big Super Mario fan, so I think he's just gonna have the time of his life here. So we will la la. Then we have Peach's Castle. Yeah. And then Yoshi's Adventure, which this is the family ride. As you can see, very chill, very like casual. You can take the little kiddos on this one. They'll have a great little time. There are probably some animatronic features inside of the mountain here. And yeah, it's cute. But the real like winner of this, and these are of course all of the interactive features, same as all of the other Mario parks. But what makes this one super special, come on, is not the Toadstool Cafe. I think we all have that. It is the expansion into Donkey Kong Land, which you come through this area and go straight into. So, ah. Yeah, so you are in Donkey Kong Country. There's some shops and stuff, but it is admittedly smaller than the other half of the Mario area. Minecart Madness is, I think, the only ride in this area, but it's a really really cool looking roller coaster. The tracks that you see like visually are not real, and as has been demonstrated, boom, that cart just like it's made to look like it is flying through the air as you cross over the waterfall. That is not what's actually happening. There is a bar that connects the bottom of the cart to like the actual ride track, but that is fully hidden by the features, and you can't see it in your view either. So really, really cool concept for a ride. I'm really excited about it. But yeah, oh, hi Meg. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Really appreciate it. Usually I stream like cozy games, sci-fi games, adventure games, but I wanted to take a break from that and just kind of talk about how excited I am for what Universal's got to offer. Well, guess what? Now you can go to Donkey Kong Country. I'm hyped for this. This is gonna be really cute. And it's such a like great and thoughtful tribute to the games. I'm so happy. I'm so pleased. So yeah, there's Super Nintendo World. And then of course we've got the other parts of the park where, you know, well, there the How to Train Your Dragon area. Let's just go. Whatever. Let's go explore it. Um, so these are those pillars that we can see in the big image over here. So they're right there. That's the front of the land. You've got like all of these neat little features. I love how like how immersive they made it. All of the things that you can see built into this land do look like they were built in like that How to Train Your Dragon Viking style. So I really appreciate like the amount of care that they have for this particular land because a lot of people really love How to Train Your Dragon. I like it well enough. So force perspective here, different houses on the mountains. There are a couple little shops, but there are, I believe, two major rides, which you can see right here in this perspective. There is the like dragon roller coaster, and then there's another one where you're like essentially on these like gliders, as you can see behind there. And they both look really cool. The roller coaster obviously is a little more exciting. You've got all these water features on it. That's so cool. I love the links they went to make this like walkthrough very immersive. So this is that other ride I was talking about, Dragon Racers Rally, which is it looks fun. It looks like a carnival ride that just kind of throws you around. So um, there are going to be like there's a show area and then there's an eating area, and I think we're going to the restaurant first. So that's really cool. Um, so you head out. Oh man, this fly through is so cool. So this is the main dining hall. It is put together like a big Viking dining hall. So there's going to be fire features inside. I'm sure super hearty food. Let's hope. Um, you never know when it comes to theme park food. I've noticed that like it's really a roll of the dice because you can have the best meal in the world at one restaurant and then just have absolute cafeteria food at like the next place you go to. So it really depends on like the restaurant and exactly where you are. But high hopes, you know. Worst comes to worst, at least they'll serve good turkey legs, I'm sure. And isn't that what we all want, really? So we've got one more thing to look at in this land, and that is the show building for the Untrainable Dragon, which is the live show. Oh, it's not. Okay, sorry. There's this. I forgot about this. So there's like this little boat ride through, another ride for the kids, but you essentially ride through this area. I like it because it's sort of, it reminds me of the like if Vikings built a theme park, this is what it would look like. This is what one of the rides would look like. So you're essentially challenged to hit all of the targets here on this boat ride. You've got these little water cannons here, and you have to hit as many targets as possible. I have no idea if there's a score system like at Buzz Lightyear or at Toy Story Mania, but still very cool. And then of course I think now we're finally going to the show building. That is right here. And from what I've seen, there's like a How to Train Your Dragon show over in like the Universal like Shanghai Park, and it looks very cool. Like Toothless and Hiccup like fly right over your head. There's like a whole song and dance and musical area of the show like portion, and there's stunts and all of this other cool stuff. So I'm really excited to see this. I think this will be really cute. I love me a good show at the park. So yeah, so that's what that's looking like. Um, I I am in a position where I have very interesting knowledge that I cannot share with you about what to expect from Universal, especially with regards to like FanFest nights. But like what I'm suggesting here is that you go to the Universal website, switching over again to the West Coast, and sign up for that mailing list for FanFest nights because once that info drops, you're gonna want to get your tickets immediately. I'm very excited for for what I know and what I've heard, but what I've heard and what I know is very minimal. So don't think I know too much. And it's really what I know is based on a fact of a thing I know that I then speculated on and think will land here. So anyway, before I say any more, I really hope that you all have enjoyed the stream. I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much just call it right now. This is gonna be a short one, but if you liked it and if you enjoy watching me talk about theme parks and stuff, let me know because I really enjoy talking about theme parks and I wouldn't mind having a night where I just hop on every week, talk about theme park news, give you my opinion on stuff, and then, see where we go from there. But yeah, really excited for everything coming up in spring of 2025 on both coasts for Universal. There is, of course, like a load of, news out of D23 from last month, which has to do with like all the upcoming stuff that Disney has on offer. But we'll talk about that in a future stream because this one was all about having that universal love. So if you're looking to follow me anywhere on the internet, I'm O Katrina everywhere. So OHCATRINA right there on the screen. You can look for me. I'm very well branded. And just go ahead and follow me anywhere you wish. And I will be back, I believe. Yep, Thursday night I'll be back for another stream. I haven't quite decided what we're playing or what we're doing, but I will be here Thursday. So follow me on the internet, on social media, so that you can find out what I'm up to. I might also do a little stream on Sunday, depending on what life looks like. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And let's get on Twitch. Let's see who's online right now, so I can raid over to them because Klingon Pop Warrior was very kind to raid over to me. Wow, none of my friends are online right now. Um, gosh, we're all very tired. So, um, who's here? What is this angel chopped person? I don't know what that means. Okay, well, I will instead just close up. I hope you all have a wonderful night. And yeah, just keep an eye out for Star Trek nights because I know I'll be going and I'd love to see you there. Until next time, live long, prosper, nanu nanu. Good night, everybody.